So, not so many years ago, there was a gentleman I knew. It was in the lowest point of my life at that point. I'd known this gentleman for years. He said, I remember a guy once that if you told him people were speaking poorly of him, badly, he would say, what did I care? Whether they're speaking poorly or they're speaking positively of me, as long as they're speaking of me. I thought about what he said, and I've come to the realization that over the last 3 years in particular in my life, I lost sight of that aspect of me. And don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone speaking poorly of me at this juncture in my life. But to have the confidence to realize that they didn't dictate my life unless I allowed them to. And that's it. Am I allowing people to impact me in the way that they pull me down because I don't have their support and I want it and I want their love and their attention? And thus, in turn, I'm missing out on my life because I desire so badly to share my love with someone else. And I'm just asking you to reflect upon yourself. Are you allowing people to pull you down that, they shouldn't be able to? Because where we are, how we got here, is we allowed this to happen. We have to take that responsibility. But we can look and see who we allowed to influence us. And my friend was right. There was a time it didn't matter who you were. You weren't going to influence me. I don't care if you were speaking positive with me. I don't care if you were speaking negative with me. I was going to do what I was going to do. Because I was going to be true to who I was. And that has been one of the greatest compliments I've ever received in my life. Not that when I was living in a negative fashion, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to glorify that. But one thing that has always been said about me, what you saw on the surface, that's who I was and who I am. Even those right now that feel like, he's behaved this way. Yeah, and I told you I was going to before I did it. If I told you, hey, you don't pick up the phone, I'm going to ghost, then I do it. If I tell you I'm going to help you out, I'm going to do that. Whatever I say, that's who I'm going to be. And I've had that compliment thrown to me more than once. And you know what? I can't take full credit of that. My dad instilled that in me because of Polonius's address to Laertes when he says in was that Act 3, I think it was? Act 1, pardon me, Scene 3, where he tells him, to thy own self be true, to thy own self be true, and it shall follow as the night the day. Then thou cannot be false to any man. And that quote's not exact, but that's pretty close to the gist of it. And that's the point, man. Be true to who you are. So, and I'm not saying don't grow and change. I'm just saying in that process of growing and changing, realize this. Nobody can pull you down unless you let them. I don't care if it's your significant other or whatever. If they're not as supportive as they need to be, fine. You're going to have to push through. And you're going to need to remember, though. Now, I feel very strongly about the bond of marriage, so you got to work that out, I think. I personally feel. But if it's like a fiance or something, I'm at a point I don't need fair weather friends. If you ain't here for this tough part of the ride, get to stepping. Because this is when I need you most. And so when things get back to where they need to be, Oh, we weren't here for the party. No, 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 no. I went through that when I was young. Back when I was the party animal and people only wanted me around for the party. No, no. I don't live that kind of life anymore anyways. But if you're going to be here for the good, oh, hey, things are rolling for him. Look, well, he's got this and nah, nah. Get to stepping. I don't need you now. I needed you then, and you didn't want to put in the work. Now, again, that doesn't mean I won't help people, because I believe that's all we're here for, is to serve one another. And that goes back to my spiritual beliefs, my faith, and what I know to be true. But at the same time, do not let people come back in your life that weren't there when you needed them. You can help them, but do not make them permanent part or key portion of your life, a foundation within your life. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to hit another wall, because we all do, and they're going to go a wall again, and they're going to disappear, and you're going to start feeling those emotions again and letting it impact you again. Because most of us are here, to be honest, we struggle with those kind of things anyways. I know mine, like I said, a lot of it's tied back to my mental, which obviously impacts my emotional, which impacts my spiritual, which impacts my physical. I do say that spiritual is the foundation, but what tends to knock that off is when I let my mental aspect get cracked. And how does that happen? Usually because somebody's hurt me emotionally. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you cannot expect people to feel sorry for you. I want to say something that's going to be real blunt. It's going to be controversial, but it's true. I'm sorry, folks. I call it battered women syndrome. It's like a battered woman. First time, I feel bad for her. Now I'll help her out. Second time, I'm asking her, hey, obviously there's a problem here. You're going to have to make a change. You need to realize that. Because it's not going to change. You got to get yourself out of the situation. Third time, I'm probably still going to help because that's my nature. But I'm going to make it clear. There's nothing more I can do for you after this time. You're going to have to, you need to go get some serious help. Because you're the problem now. Doesn't mean that person's justified in their behavior. But you yourself are allowing yourself to stay in that situation. How's that any different than some that are watching this right now and feel like, they're in that situation because they're fat, because they're not mobile because they become sedentary. Okay, if I got to accept responsibility, if everyone else watching this video has to accept responsibility, then an individual that puts themselves in another bad situation where they're being abused is just as guilty if they don't remove themselves from the situation. And I understand circumstances. I could try to explain to them here and you'll say they're excuses. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. My point is, we have to be accountable how we got here. I cannot really be mad at the individuals. I can be hurt, disappointed, but that I've had to be very blunt and draw boundaries with late, because the only reason they took advantage of me is because I allowed it to happen. I'm responsible. I'm accountable. And that's anything in life, even if you're getting abused. Does not justify the behavior. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, I've never been physically abused like that, but I've been abused emotionally, mentally, and financially. And how did that happen? Because I didn't remove myself from it. So I'm going to make it clear right now. Whether I make progress in this journey like I should or not is on me. The same on you. But what you need to understand is once you get to that point and you're starting to hit those plateaus and you're starting to achieve the way you intended all along, when you get back on the top of that mountain, I know it's going to sound cruel, When they come climbing up there, not because they need help, because they want to be in your world. When they get up right up there to that peak, you put your foot right in their face and push them down the side of that mountain. Because that's all they're going to do to you is pull you down, and you know it. Because they weren't there when you needed them. So, yes, it sounds like a declaration of war. It is. Because it's at a point that I'm not angry to the point that I'm trying to start war with anybody. But I'm at a point that I've built a wall that has to stay. Because boundaries have been a part of my problem for so long. And this wall is here to protect me, but not only me, but those that have proved to be part of my inner circle that I love. I cannot get torn down because they need me. And y'all know who you are, and I love you, and I'm grateful because y'all have stuck. There's been a lot of ups and downs, and y'all are still here. And that's someone who loves you. That's someone who's your friend. Or whatever other position they assume in your life, they're there for a reason. Hold on to them. This is accountability. You know what to do. Subscribe, like, turn on those notifications, and share. We'll speak to you next time.